Day 588, 22 for 22. Good morning. I hope this finds you well. Please stay in your fight and do not quit. All right, so today we're going to talk about labels. Labels. You're going to get labeled something somewhere in life. And a lot of the times we're going to self-label. And that's where we run into a problem. There's two places you're going to run into the label issues. Well, possibly three, but two very important ones. These labels can be either really good ones or they can be really bad ones. And the bad ones are the ones that we need to worry about. I know from my own experience, sitting on the edge of that cliff looking into the abyss after losing my family, losing my career, and losing my health. There's not much I could have done about my health. The career, not much either. The family, not sure about. I don't think I could have saved that one either. Hindsight being 20/20. But I do know that during that time, I had labeled myself a failure. I had labeled myself a loser because I had lost everything that had mattered to me. So, it made sense. I failed. I'm a loser. And during the darkest of days, I'm a failure. I'm a fucking failure. I'm a failure. I'm a failure. I'm a failure. I'm a failure. What a loser. And those were the driving thoughts in my mind. Meanwhile, people around me, other than maybe my ex, didn't see it that way. And I held a job. I held it successfully. I worked my butt off. I was a hard worker. I was a good worker. So I got labeled in a good way in that respect. But inside my head, those labels were literally getting ready to kill me. We got to watch the labels, and especially when we come to labeling ourselves. Also, the other killer is, especially in a military career, is letting that mental health stigma label us as incompetent or whatever ends up happening with that sort of thing. Not combat ready, not this, not that. Let me get one piece of truth thrown out there right now. It doesn't matter if you are a 24-year sergeant major. It doesn't matter if you're 2-year private. If you end up out of the Army, or you end up not or reclassing, or whatever happens, you're going to be replaced. But your life cannot be replaced. You cannot let that label kill you. You cannot let it get to that point where you fear getting help because you're going to be labeled because you seek help. Screw that damn label. Make sure that you're here. Another career will come up. Something else will come up. Now, you may have to do some soul searching and some digging and some extra work to get into something that you want to do other than the Army or the Navy, Air Force, Marines. But the bottom line is you need to be here to be able to do that. And allowing a label to, in part, kill you, not appropriate. And a lot of the times, with me, that the self-labeling of failure and loser, whatever you label yourself, you're pretty much giving yourself a death sentence, and that's not cool. You should not be giving yourself a death sentence. I should have never gave myself that death sentence either. I've learned, no matter what goes on around in me, let me get that straight. That goes on around me, I still have me. And me is good enough, despite any label that I can put on myself. And I'm gonna, if anything happens to where I get labeled, end up trying to label myself, I'm gonna change that thought process real damn quick. The one thing you can, the one thing a veteran should never be able to label themselves is as a quitter. And we just keep in that fight and we stay in it until we get through to the other side. And like I said, we've got to survive ourselves more so than anything else, especially if we have survived combat or any other traumatic situation. because that stuff does affect you. There's no doubt, and there's no shame in saying that you've been affected by what you've been through. You're human. You have emotions. Whether you like them or not, you got them. And even if you're that rough and tumble dude or female on the outside, and it shows that nothing bothers you, and stuff does bother you, you're human. That's normal. That's fine. That's okay. That's how it's supposed to be. Now, I'd be a little concerned if you didn't have any feelings at all, and even then, there's ways to get through it, and largely, unless you're a psychopath, you are repressing it. And once again, you just got to get in and get some help. Bottom line is, these labels can kill, and we can't allow them to do that, because we have a life to live outside of our career in the Army or whatever has happened to us. You can be labeled a victim. You can be labeled a survivor. You know what? Choose to be labeled a thriver. I have done that. It has not been easy, and I will not say it will be easy, because very likely it won't, because you have a lot of obstacles to overcome up here. You have to be able to defeat your own demons and be able to do that, and it is possible. You must seek the treatment that you need, and if the VA isn't doing it, let me know. I got people that I know that I can try and help get you into that are supposed to have some good resources. I haven't used them myself, so that's why I say supposed to. There's Mary. She got her shirt from Utah. Good morning, sweetheart. Because I was talking. All right, let me finish, baby. I love you. But don't let these labels kill you. Do not, absolutely do not let them kill you. Get in, get some help. Do what you got to do to be here. There's a reason that you will not see me on the edge of that cliff again. I let my life beat me once. Won't let it do it again. You got to have the same fighting mentality that you had overseas, that you're not going to let the Taliban or Al-Aqsa or whoever you were fighting in Iraq get the upper hand on you. You don't let your mind do it either. That's your biggest battleground. You got to fight the label that you put on yourself, or that the system puts on you, and get through it. Life is too important just to give it up because of a label. Don't let it happen. All right, so I may address this more as I go. You gonna do something with me? Love you. Need to do something?
I put on lip balm.
Cool. Are you gonna do something?
I guess so.
Okay, let's go. We gotta go. Gotta go right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 1 for the Airborne Ranger in the sky. 1 for the infantry. 1 for the fall.
I don't know why I quit it, but my hand was starting to hurt.
That happens.
In my belly.
Oops. How's your belly feeling this morning? You okay? Good. All right. We have the YouTube channel. That underscore push up underscore guy tough. Facebook, my personal page, 20 veterans groups. If you find please share the video. If you find it that you can't share it in the group that you find it in, please come to my page, share from there. On YouTube, hit the subscribe, notification bell, and leave a comment. I'd appreciate all the shares you guys can give, and let's get the message out there. If you need help, seek help. Get it from friends, family, professionals. There's absolutely zero shame in seeking help. Do what you got to do to be here. Bottom line, do not use suicide as a permanent solution to a temporary or permanent problem. You got this. Right. 1, 2, 3.
Tough
Tough
out.
out.